Hey guys, this is Iliya with TWRAPS, and I'll show you how to install the dashboard wrap for Tesla Model 3 and Y. This is what the black carbon fiber dashboard wrap looks like, and I wanted to point out a few things. One is that in here in the middle you'll see this kind of like a big notch, and we use this to align to begin the installation, and we align this behind the display. You'll see where it fits a little bit later in the video. The other thing is that on the back of this, the backing is cut, so when we begin the installation, we'll peel this part of the backing, just this part, make the alignment, and then we'll continue peeling the other two parts. So first, turn off the AC and put the entire wrap onto the dashboard. And then, as I said, you need to turn it around, remove the middle piece only of the backing, and then lay it back. Don't worry too much about this sticking. It should not until you press it, that is. And now what we want to do is to align this notch to this corner here. So basically this corner must match this one here. The other thing I'll be careful about is that this line that continues should be well aligned to the bottom of the white trim or wooden trim, whichever one you have. When you think you did it, just apply a little pressure around here to make it stick and doesn't move, but don't overdo it, just like this. And now I'll proceed. I'm on the passenger side. I'll proceed with this part before I go on the other side. So for this part I need to remove the backing, the rest of the backing. And now what you need to do is to hold the vinyl upright and guide it on this lower chrome trim. Don't just lay it down and push it, because this way you risk wrinkling it much more than you would risk otherwise. So I'll just guide it like if you make a mistake, don't be afraid, just pull up. Okay, now I'll use my fingers to make sure it sticks well here at the bottom where it folds, and then I'll go just a little bit higher again with my fingers. Don't use any tools at this point. Notice how I'm working my way up with my fingers. When you do it with your fingers, like this, you just work your way up. You get two things. One is that you're warming up the vinyl, which makes it a lot friendlier than it would be if it's cold. And the other thing you get is that if you wrinkle it by accident, let me show you. I'll wrinkle it on purpose. Let's say, oops, I wrinkled it. If you did that with a squeegee, chances are you'll be damaging the vinyl. If I did it with my finger though, because my finger is softer, the vinyl is fine. Just lift it up and redo it, and it's fine. There is no scar, no. It doesn't show that it was ever wrinkled. Now, make sure when you're doing this on the passenger side, I always prefer to start on the passenger side because it's the easier one. Draw a virtual line in the middle of your display and don't go any further left than that. Just work on this part and leave the other one alone for now. The reason for this is that some pressure builds up because there are curves here, and we need space to distribute that pressure, otherwise it will wrinkle. And we're just giving the driver's side half its necessary width to distribute that pressure. And I'm just working on the passenger side half now. Now here towards the end, it gets more pressure. So if you get wrinkles, just again lift up and reapply. Don't fold it just yet. We'll leave that for later. The first thing I basically need to do here is to make sure that the biggest part is laid down and positioned properly. It's adhering well, there are no wrinkles, no bubbles, and then we'll handle the details like how it folds here on the back and how it folds on the end. And notice I'm leaving the far end, the end closer to the door, for last. I'm basically not doing anything with it for now. I'm just taking care of this part here. I want to make it perfect all the way to the edge, so that then I can do the folding. Okay, I think we're good. I don't sense any more wrinkles all the way to the edge. Now, before you do the folding, very importantly, take the squeegee that comes with this and go with it from the bottom to the top like this. And the reason we need to do that is that just in case you miss the bubble, this will take it out. And that's the reason we're not folding it. This allows the bubble space to get out. Because the alternative would be to break the bubble. But this is just easier and safer. Okay, now I think we're done with this part. I can actually get the vinyl here. Okay, now to the folding part. For the folding, first use your finger to draw a line on the edge like this, and just repeat it a few times. Make sure there are no wrinkles, no bubbles, nothing. And when you do that, every time you repeat, just push a little bit lower. Don't go all the way down, just keep doing that and push a little bit lower every single time. This way, you're warming up the vinyl and it's conforming to the shape of your dashboard without wrinkles. It's really cool actually. and now it's all the way down. Last but not least, I'll use the squeegee, the soft side of the squeegee, to make sure it's perfectly positioned. Now let's do the ending. Now we have this on the end, and first make sure there are no bubbles here. You can use the squeegee to push any remaining bubbles to this side where they can exit. And I will again go with my finger all the way to the edge, like this, without folding. Okay. Now the way we'll fold this is that first we'll lift up the ends here and here, then we'll fold this, and then we'll fold the ends on top of this part. The reason being is that if we first do the ends and then we fold this over them, when you close your door you'll see this edge, which doesn't look so great. When you do it the other way around though, you don't see it and it looks great. So first, let me fold this. Notice again, I'm using my fingers because it's much safer. Now lift this up. And position this. Same here. And now fold over this. Now this is made, the bottom here is made of two pieces. I'll fold them one by one so that I don't get any wrinkle where they meet. And now just use the squeegee to make it all straight and even. And make sure you tuck it in over here. Now if you have any excess vinyl here, it means you probably stretched it. It's very easy because it's a very long piece. If that happens, just use the squeegee to tuck it in. This white piece falls off, so there is a little gap underneath where you can tuck in the excess vinyl. And that's how we did the passenger side. It looks perfect. Now the driver side. This one is harder, and the reason is the steering wheel. It makes it somewhat tricky to see and handle the vinyl behind the screen. But let's give it a shot. So I have the passenger side installed already, which makes my work for the driver side somewhat easier. Now the first thing I'll do is I'll remove the backing on the driver side piece, and we have to align just like on the passenger side. Now I see I didn't position it very well, so I'll have to remove a little bit and reposition. As you can see, mistakes can happen, but as long as you don't panic and just work slowly and think about what you're doing, you should be fine. Like for instance, we have a little bit of bubbles here, and now that the passenger side is done, obviously I need to push them away from the passenger side, otherwise I'll just move them into the passenger side and we're back to square one. So the motion I'll be doing to remove wrinkles is from the middle towards the far end of the driver's side. There you go. Now I'll just work my way from bottom to top, from center towards the driver's side. Now let me remind you about the end here. First, we fold this, the big piece, and then we fold the other pieces on top of this one. That's it.